Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of SNL, Saturday Night Library Trivia. This series was created by Carrie and Amber at the Pal Branch, and I am your host, Mandy, also from the Pal Branch. Here are the rules. Today there are 3 rounds of trivia. If you want to grab a piece of paper and a pen, you can. Feel free to pause this video at any time. I talk really fast. Don't cheat, and the prize for the winning person or team is that they are very presidential because the theme today is Fight for your right to vote! Round 1 is presidents, round 2 is state flags, and round 3 is more presidents. Very presidential. Alright, get ready! I don't know what's happening in this GIF, but it's fine. Alright, round 1, I am going to show a picture of a president, and you name the president. Very simple. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. I give you a clue on this one. It's not Samuel Adams. Samuel Adams was not a president. He was a brewer. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. I'll give you a clue, this is not Taft. I thought it was Taft, and then I looked up, gets stuck in a bathtub, and I was like, oh, Taft got stuck in the bathtub. This is not Taft. Very fun, like kids nonfiction, easy nonfiction book about President Taft getting stuck in his own bathtub. Number 8. Number 9. Number 10. This guy normally wears glasses. If he doesn't look familiar, be like, oh yeah, I had glasses. Number 11. Number 12. Number 13. I'm a big fan of like the inauguration party and what that looked like. When this president had his party, he had barbecue, and I'm here for it. He also lifted a dog by the ears, which I'm not here for. Do not. It's not okay. Number 14. These guys all have like pretty good hair, but this is like the best of the presidential hair, I feel like. It's excellent hair. Question 15. I guess he doesn't have good hair, but it's okay. He had a real stressful job before this stressful job, so that's Yeah. 16. 17. That's kind of an easy one. I am rewatching Ken Burns' The Civil War right now, and this guy's in it a whole bunch, obviously. Of course he is. $18. 19. 20. I don't want to give too much of a clue. This is like kind of our hometown hero. Depending on which county you're sitting in right now. If you're in Marion, I'm not trying to fool you. If you're in Delaware County, this is the hometown hero. Alright, for round 2, we're going to do state flags. So I am going to show you a picture of a state flag. If there's any hard to read text, I'll go ahead and read it, and you just guess the state. Easy peasy. Question 1. Man, I took Latin 1, but then I had to drop out of Latin 2. Key, translucent, sustain it. He who is tranquil sustains. I don't know. I like I said, I dropped out of Latin 1. I don't know. Or no, I was okay on Latin 1, but 2, I was like, nah. 2. I didn't get this right. Think about who discovered this place. And I know that's not a very good clue because these guys discovered a lot of places, but yeah, that's all I'm saying. Question 3. It says union, justice, confidence. And it's got a pelican. A pelican. One thing that I noticed in general on these is sometimes the original 13 colonies have very fancy flags, and the southern flags all look kind of southerny. I don't know. It's not a very good clue, but as we're going through. Number 4. It says, united we stand, divided we fall. Question 5. This is like a vacation spot. I feel like I've seen this on lots of people's cars who went to this vacation spot. Question 6. Question 7. It says hope. Question 8. It says Excelsior. It's not Stanley's flag, but you know, this is so fancy. Question 9. I got this one. Question 10. Looking at my notes. Okay. It says E pluribus unum, and then it says a bunch of stuff in Latin. Tubor. It's got a guy on a river, like, just waving. This is a good flag. Question 11. Question 12. Question 13, it says, "In God we trust," and then some Latin. Yeah, my notes. Question 14. I'll give you a hint. You can kind of tell from this, but some of these state flags were, after the Civil War, were augmented from the Confederate flag, and this, I believe, is one of those. Question 15. I got this one. Question 16. Quite possibly the coolest flag. I feel like of the flags in the Union, this one is like, whoa, this is like a really cool flag. It looks awesome. Question 17, just Latin mostly. Sorry, I wish I could help more on the Latin thing. I can't. Question 18. Question 19, it says liberty and prosperity. And question 20. This flag is sweet. Now it says virtue, liberty, and independence. Might be one of the, like, original 13 colonies, just saying. Very, old school looking. Alright, for round 3, we're going to do more presidents. This is also just about the voting process in general. So here we go. Question 1. In the United States, what determines the winner of a presidential election? Question 2. The Electoral College allows each state to have how many electors? A, 1. B, the number equal to the amount of the state's U.S. senators and U.S. representatives. Or C, the square root of a state's population. Question 3. How is the presidential candidate selected in Russia? A, by the Electoral College, B, by government employees, or C, by the popular vote? Question 4. If no candidate wins the majority of electoral votes, how is the election decided? A, by the Senate, B, by the House of Representatives, C, by rock, paper, scissors. I wish it was rock, paper, scissors. Question 5. How many of the electoral votes must a candidate receive in order to win? 260, 270, or 280? Question 6. What is the name of the election that determines which candidate makes it into the general election? So, election before the election. Before the election. Question 7. What kind of primary allows voters to cast a ballot for either party? Is it A, a closed primary, B, an open primary, or C, a free primary? Question 8. States where no candidate has overwhelming support and the popular vote is up for grabs are known as what? A, swing states, B, undecideds, or C, orange states? Question 9. In Ohio, for the 2020 election, when is the last day to register to vote? Question 10. In Ohio, when is the last day to request an absentee ballot? Question 11. What day is this year's presidential election? Question 12. How long before an election must you live in Ohio to qualify to vote in Ohio? Question 13. True or false, individuals with prior felony convictions can vote in Ohio? True or false, any registered Ohio voter may apply for an absentee ballot and vote absentee. Question 15. Name this First Lady. Question 16. Name this First Lady. Question 17. Name this First Lady. I got this one wrong, I think. Question 18. Name this First Lady. I got this one right. Question 19. Name this first lady. She looks like kind of sad. I don't think she actually was, but that picture, she looks very serious. But I mean, that's okay. It's a serious thing. And 20. Name this first lady. I thought she kind of looked like Quint from Jaws, so there you go. I did not get this one right because I guessed Quint from Jaws. Maybe not my smartest day today. All right, time for answers. I don't know why Homer thinks Homer plus beer equals president. Not correct. All right, round 1, presidents. So what I've done for these is put, if there was a pop culture reference to this president, that's the answer that I've given. So here we go. Round 1 is George W. Bush. This is obviously the SNL with Will Ferrell portraying him. He's done a couple presidents, all of them great, but this one's like especially good. 2 is Reagan from The Simpsons. I think he might have been currently the president when this was made, actually. 3, okay, so if I couldn't find another good reference, I did the Futurama President's Heads in Jars. So 3 would be Thomas Jefferson, presidential head in a jar. 4 would be Jimmy Carter, breakdancing on The Simpsons. 5 is Harry S. Truman's head in a jar. If you guys haven't seen Futurama, you're gonna be like, what is she talking about? 6 is former President Gerald Ford, who moved in right next door to The Simpsons. It's a really good episode, and he's like, Homer, do you like chicken wings? And Homer's like, do I ever? And they become like best friends. Yeah, look it up. It's a really good episode. 7, this is Grover Cleveland, and actually there was a little bit of like a scandal when right before he was elected. There was an allegation that he had fathered a child out of wedlock. He wasn't married, but this same woman had relationships with like 3 or 4 other guys, all of which were married except for Cleveland. So he paid child support. I'm not sure it was actually his child, but the child took his name and he paid child support. And then later he went on to get married in the White House. So nobody's quite sure what happened there, and I didn't know about this scandal, but there you go. Question 8 is Woodrow Wilson. There was a really good Drunk History episode that talked about how Woodrow Wilson in the White House had a stroke, and his wife, Edith Wilson, basically took over the presidency for the last, year or year and a half that he was in office. Look it up. There's a picture of him signing paperwork, and she's standing beside him, and they literally propped him up for this picture like he was really, really sick until the very end of that presidency, and they just hid that he had a stroke. So, yep, Drunk History. Informative as always. 9 is Bill Clinton, again on The Simpsons. Again, I think he was the current president, and in that episode too. 10 is FDR, and this is Krusty forgetting that he needs to stay in the wheelchair for this role. 11 is Nixon, who is the greatest head in a jar on Futurama. Ugh. He's always like, brrr, like he makes this weird noise. Ugh, it's the best. 12 is George Herbert Walker Bush, and this is Dana Carvey on SNL. 13 is LBJ, and he got to be with Zoidberg with his head in a jar. You can see Washington got it behind him, too. 14 is JFK, who I forgot was in Forrest Gump. 15, this is Eisenhower, and this is from the movie The Longest Day, so this is the actor that portrayed him. I think he actually watched the movie, too, which would be super weird. 16, this is Andrew Jackson, who, speaking of inaugural parties, bought a gigantic wheel of cheese and just invited everybody in DC. Apparently it was kind of a wild party. Gunplay occurred at some point. He was kind of a wild, backwoods president. So, yeah, there's the 1,400-pound block of cheese. 16 is Abraham Lincoln defending that Constitution. I don't know where I ever saw this picture, but it's a thing. 18, it was Obama, and this is the Key and Peele episode where he has Luther, the anger motivational speaker. 19 is George Washington, again, head in jar. And 20 is Rutherford B. Hayes, who is in the Simpsons song, The Lesser Known Presidents. Also, at some point, it was on The Daily Show, because in Delaware, the Hayes Memorial Home was demolished to put up a BP station. There now is a nice plaque, but there wasn't always, and now we have the statue. But, yeah, what is the episode on, Daily Show is called Pump and Circumstance, and then they go ask everybody about Hayes. It was very embarrassing at the time, so there you go. All right, round 2 state flags. For this, I have a fun fact about each of the states. So here we go. 1 is Connecticut. Connecticut is the birthplace of the hamburger. A place called Lewis's Lunch started to serve the hamburger in 1900. 2, this is Hawaii. I was trying to give a clue. In Hawaii, there is a state-specific language. It consists of 13 letters, 5 vowels, and 8 consonants. It has 4 rules. All words end in a vowel. Every consonant is followed by at least 1 vowel, and every syllable ends in a vowel, so Hawaiians love vowels. 3 is Louisiana. The turducken was invented in Louisiana because, of course it was. It's filled with Cajun sausage. Must be delicious. 4 is Missouri. Tornadoes are literally everywhere in Missouri. It is the home of the deadliest tornado in U.S. history. The Tri-State Tornado, March 18, 1925, which killed almost 700 people and injured over 2,000. 5 is South Carolina. South Carolina is home to 4,000 rhesus monkeys. They're on an island that I guess is used for, medical testing, which makes me sad, but still very strange that there's 4,000 monkeys on an island in South Carolina. 6 is Tennessee. It is the place where Jack Daniels was born and died. The actual guy, Jack Daniels, at some point got so mad that he forgot the combination to his safe that he kicked the safe and sustained an injury that led to blood poisoning and killed him. 7 is Rhode Island. Rhode Island is the smallest state, but it has 1,000 people per square mile. It's very compact. 8 is New York. The New York subway system is at any point hours away from being flooded with devastating results. It was built on a swamp and other wetlands, the whole city. And they have a crucial system of 753 pumps to remove 13 million gallons of water, street draining, and sewer flow every day. Without them, all the tunnels would drown in mere hours. It's crazy. In Texas, you can legally tag a Bigfoot. If you see a Sasquatch, you could pull out that sidearm because Bigfoot aren't considered endangered in the Lone Star State, so hunt as many as you want. That is the most Texas thing that ever Texased in the history of Texas. Michigan is the magic capital of the world. The city of Colon, Michigan, is the self-proclaimed place of magic. They have a cemetery, they've got a walk of fame, they have a museum, and it's the resting place of no fewer than 28 magicians. 11 is Arizona. Cutting down a cactus gets you prison time in Arizona. The Sonoran cactus, which is kind of their, state plant, takes forever to grow, and if you're caught cutting one down, you can get fines or jail time. Alaska produces bigger produce than the rest of the United States because they get 20 hours of sunlight a day during the summer. Georgia has an official state possum. His name is Pogo, and he appeared in a comic book in the 1940s. Sweet Home, Alabama is actually a place. It's not a town, but it is a plantation that still exists in Alabama, and it's called Sweet Home, Alabama. Colorado is the only state in U.S. history to turn down the Olympics. In 1976, they were going to take the games to Denver, and the city said thanks but no thanks because it was going to cost $5 million, and the voters said no. 6 is Maryland, home of the blue crab, first of all, delicious, and the Ouija board. The Ouija board was developed in a Baltimore apartment, and the first thing they asked the board was what it would like to be called, and it answered Ouija. Massachusetts, it is illegal to frighten pigeons from their home. According to a statute, whoever willfully kills pigeons upon or frightens them from beds shall be punished by imprisonment for not more than 1 month or by a fine of not more than $20. New Mexico, the capital city of Santa Fe, is the highest capital in the country. It sits at 7,000 feet above sea level. New Jersey has a volcano. It is called the Beamerville volcano. It's in Sussex County, and it is no longer active, but has some really nice hiking trails. And 20, Pennsylvania, you can see Edgar Allan Poe's actual raven. There was a pet of Charles Dickens that was a raven that was taxidermied and mounted, and the bird has an appearance in one of his stories. Poe saw this bird and wrote the raven. All right, round 3, we have more presidents and legal facts, or voting facts, not legal facts. They're also legal. Here we go. In the United States, the Electoral College determines the winner of the presidential election. They Might Be Giants has a new song called the Electoral College, so if you want information, check that out. 2, the number of Electoral College members or electors is determined by the number equal to the amount of the state's U.S. senators and representatives. So every state differs. 3, in Russia, the president is selected by government employees. I don't know. It seems to be working, I guess, but it seems a little sketchy. 4, if no candidate wins the majority of electoral votes, the House of Representatives decides. I don't know. Put in the comments if that's ever happened. I don't know if we've ever had to do that. 5, the number of votes that a candidate must receive in order to win from the Electoral College is 270. 6, the name of the election that determines which candidate makes it into the general election is the primary. 7, if you can vote for either party, it is an open primary. 8, states where no candidate has overwhelming support are swing states. I like that dog. Okay, in Ohio, you have to register to vote by October 5th. Here's the thing. The library is doing all kinds of stuff to help people register for voting this year. You can come to the library. You can get the form to register to vote. You can get the form to sign up for an absentee ballot. On 9/22, it's National Voter Registration Day. Come in, do it. On 10/1, we're even doing a fun Frozen versus Mary Poppins election for kids. There's going to be like a video for that. What the library can give you for voting is the registration form, the absentee ballot request, and information on either candidate or any of the issues. What we cannot do is take your absentee ballot. We cannot accept that. So don't bring it. You got to drop that off yourself or mail it. But come in for everything else. The library is definitely doing a lot with voter registration this year. So do it. Do it. 10. You have to have your absentee ballot request in 3 days prior to the election. That seems to cut it kind of close to me. I would maybe not do it. I turned mine in this week. We can help you do that. Again, we cannot accept the ballot, but we can accept the request for the ballot. 11. This year is November 3rd for the election. You could do this, go out, vote, do your thing. If you don't feel like you want to go to the actual polls, do the absentee. That's what I'm doing. However you do it, make sure you get out there and vote. 12. If you have lived in Ohio for at least 30 days immediately before the election, you can vote in Ohio. If you haven't, I think you can do absentee ballot in your old state because you would still be registered as a resident. I think. Don't do any voter fraud. Check it out. 13. True. If you have a felony, you can still vote in Ohio. If you are currently incarcerated, you cannot, and you're probably not listening to this trivia anyway. True. Any registered voter may apply for an absentee ballot and vote absentee. I am doing that this year. Also true, you can bring information with you to the voting booth. I did not know this till my husband told me last year. So do the research, figure out the candidates and the causes that are important to you, and then you can take that with you if you go to the physical, to physically vote, and that way you have all your ducks in a row. So there you go. 15 was Eleanor Roosevelt. 16, Jackie O. So classic. 17 is Betty Ford. Her hair's amazing. I wonder how long it took to do that hair. 18 is Rosalind Carter. She looks very, wholesome, so that was my guess. 19 is Lady Bird Johnson. And 20 is Edith Wilson, who is definitely not Quint from Jaws. So, how did you do? If you got 0 to 20, you're not that into politics. Maybe you should read up a little before the election. 20 to 30, you're thinking about voting. You think you should, and you should. And if you got over 30, you are very presidential. Thanks for playing, everybody. Hope you learned a little something today. Join us next week. Our theme is going to be retro, so we're going to be doing all things 50s, 60s, and 70s. Okay, bye.